This is KSUT Public Radio. Regional news is next. The Colorado River is 1,450 miles long, and one woman is running its entire length. As Hannah Weaver reports for the Mountain West News Bureau from Glenwood Springs, the long trek highlights the river's crisis.
Mina Guli rests under the shade of a tree on a hot June afternoon, looking out at the Colorado River.
It is beautiful. It's become my friend. I talk to it every day.
She just ran a marathon's distance along the river's shoreline. Guli is almost a week and a tenth of the way into running the length of the river. Not because she likes running. She says she doesn't.
I want to show the power of going out with our feet and meeting people and getting dirty.
Guli has run tens of thousands of miles to raise awareness and prompt action on water issues around the world.
It is a stunt that enables me to get people's attention, but it is also a way to go and meet people on the front lines of, the banks of the Colorado River.
She sees the state of the Colorado River as one of the world's most pressing crises because it provides drinking water for 40 million people and supports over $1 trillion in economic activity. But the river has already suffered through decades of drought, and two major reservoirs it feeds reached record low levels this month. Negotiators for the 7 states that rely on the Colorado River have been at a stalemate for over a year, with little progress towards a plan that works for everyone. So Guli wants to try a different approach.
How do we bring together communities, governments, and companies in a way that drives a conversation around abundance in a river system, not about how do you divide up an ever-decreasing pie?
She's asking the people she meets along the way what solutions look like for them. In Glenwood, Guli meets up with local physical therapist Brian Burkhart to run a few miles along the river.
I mean, that's why I've been drawn to live in communities and places like this, because I do want to grow my own food and know where my food and my water are coming from.
Throughout his 13 years living in Colorado, he's experienced many water shortages and restrictions. And he lives close to the Colorado River, so it's a visible reminder of the drought on a daily basis.
Have you noticed a big difference this year?
I would say, just by looking at it, is significantly lower than normal.
But Burkhart worries that people who live further from water sources don't realize the gravity of the situation.
You know, if you aren't seeing these things with your own eyes, I think it's easy to either maybe dismiss or question if what you're seeing is real.
That's why Guli is talking to people like Burkhart, so she can take their stories to social media and to policymakers like Becky Mitchell.
What she is doing is something extraordinary.
Mitchell represents Colorado in the interstate water negotiations. She disagrees with Guli's assessment that officials aren't hearing enough stakeholder perspectives. But she agrees that, negotiations aside, it'll take creative solutions to live with less water.
It looks like taking action on the ground, taking earlier conservation measures than we ever have.
Guli hopes these grassroots strategies will have a cascading effect.
And this river gives us all the opportunity to use it as a blueprint for the lessons that we can learn and we can share with other rivers, both here in the US, but also elsewhere.
Guli passed through Colorado in June, and now she's making her way through Utah.
We are at Lake Powell. This is Bullfrog Marina.
Still documenting on social media. It's been a tough journey, battling heat and navigating around wildfires.
As I am sweating like a fiend.
But she's met dozens of people who inspire her to keep going. Along the way, she's also hosting summits with business and policy leaders to share what she's learned.
And if we can find ways that don't involve us sitting in a boardroom or sitting in these negotiation processes, and we can actually start to say, what can we do? Then I think we can move the Colorado River forward.
Her goal is to make it to the river's end in Southern California by September 24th. Regardless of how it shakes out, Guli will try to keep herself and the river running. I'm Hannah Weaver.
You're listening to Regional News on KSUT Public Radio. For years, the United States generally made steady progress on hazardous ozone pollution, but wildfires appear to be upending that success, a trend that has significant health implications. The Mountain West News Bureau's Murphy Woodhouse brings us the details.
Through the mid-2010s, ozone concentrations were steadily decreasing across the country. And then, according to new research published in the journal Science, that trend switched, offsetting nearly 4 years of mitigation efforts. Author Meng Zhou says that in the American West, as a region, the reversal was even more dramatic.
The ozone trend reversed since 2015, and that is basically wiped out around, to the maximum 6 years of, the Clean Air Act's efforts.
The reversal also comes with significant health implications. Since 2013, the researchers estimate that nationwide, more than 300 additional deaths annually are attributable to the rise in surface level ozone pollution. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Murphy Woodhouse.
Colorado's intense wildfire season has seen hundreds of thousands of acres burned across the state. 3 of those fires, Aspen Acres, Ferris, and Gold Mountain, are among the largest in state history. Parts of Colorado have seen rain recently, which has slowed fire activity, but roughly 90% of the state is still experiencing some level of drought. Here's Colorado Fire Director Mike Morgan.
Most of our trees would take weeks, if not months, of moisture to get brought back up to normal. Most of the grasses are dead or dormant, and they will not come back no matter how much rain we get right now.
Morgan says people should follow local fire restrictions and avoid anything that could start a fire, like dragging trailer chains or parking over tall, dry grass. He warns that there's no end in sight for this wildfire season until Colorado gets more widespread rain or cooler fall weather moves in. That story came to us from the Colorado Capital News Alliance. Also from the CCNA, Colorado has certified the state's primary election results, and 1.4 million voters cast ballots. Here's Benta Berklin with the story.
The state completed a bipartisan post-election audit to determine that the voting machines accurately counted the paper ballots, and the Secretary of State's office certified the election results from June 30th as final. The state said 48% of active Democratic voters participated, 40% of active Republican voters, and 28% of active unaffiliated voters. Unaffiliated voters can choose to participate in either party's primary. Colorado had a number of high-profile and competitive races. Still, only about a third of voters overall cast ballots, and 98% of voters voted by mail, rather than in person at a polling place.
Also from Benta Berklin, the state says Republican gubernatorial candidate Victor Marx's campaign violated campaign finance limits during the primary election. And here's the story.
The Colorado Secretary of State's office has filed a formal complaint against the Marx campaign. It says the campaign accepted $78,000 in donations over the legally allowed limit, and 111 donors sent the campaign money over the limit. State law restricts the amount of individual donations and bans cash donations over $100. Victor Marx's gubernatorial campaign said it's cooperating and working with the state to address the issue and takes campaign finance compliance seriously. Marx defeated 2 other Republicans to win the GOP party's nomination for governor. He faces Democrat Phil Weiser this November.
That was Benta Berklin reporting for the Colorado Capital News Alliance. Support for local and regional news on KSUT Public Radio is provided by the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority.
Support for public policy reporting comes from the Gay and Lesbian Fund for Colorado, promoting programs designed to ensure all Coloradans have the same opportunity to thrive. More information is online at gayandlesbianfund.org.
Hi, I'm Rick Holter. I moved to Pagosa Springs after years as an editor for NPR in Dallas, Culver City, and Washington. Today, the station that's locked in on my truck radio and on Alexa at home is KSUT. What's crucial to me about this station is the commitment to news, especially collaborative journalism. That means stories from Rocky Mountain Community Radio, the Mountain West News Bureau, and NPR. If that's crucial to you, too, join me as a sustaining member of KSUT.